Yesterday, the cover page of the fourth book of Chandra series by Amish Tripathi, which is about to get released, was unveiled. The cover reveal was supposed to take place at 8 p.m. and later the time was postponed to 9:30 p.m. I was definitely expecting a signature style of Amish Tripathi on the cover page. That the cover page is definitely going to be something different and something special, and believe me, it happened so. As we know, the fourth book of Ramchandra series is titled as War of Lanka, and I thought a war may be depicted on the cover page. So, like Ram's Sena and Ravan's Sena fighting out with each other, something depicting that particular thing. I was also sure that Amish will bring something extraordinary on the cover page, which will be interesting and which will generate a lot of curiosity, and it will definitely not be something ordinary. So here we could see two characters, main characters. Other 2-3 characters are shown in the shade, like warriors, maybe warriors of Lanka, so those belonging to Ravan's army. But the main two characters who are seen in the limelight in the action are Ram, whose face is not revealed completely, and Ravan, whose face is revealed with a band over his right eye. So, like we should think that Ravan was blinded by one eye. We were also introduced to Ravan as a businessman, and also a warrior, a king, and a lot more. He was a trader. We were also introduced to his character with many shades in the third book of Ramchandra series, which was called as Ravan, the enemy of Aryavarta. So here we can see the cruel face of Ravan with the band on his right eye, as I was telling. So these two people are depicted in a wonderful way on the cover page, as you would expect, since it is Ramchandra series and Ram will be in action against Ravan in the final war to battle it out to get back Sita from the clutches of Ravan from Lanka. And obviously the war scenario, you would expect Ram with his typical signature war equipment or weapon, what we can call it as, was bow and arrow. Ram, we will be expecting to see him with a bow and arrow in action, and similar copy paste with Ravan also. But here, going in an unconventional way, Amish Tripathi has presented them in a wonderful way with a sword fight. You can see blood-stained sword in the hand of Ram, while Ravan is also having a ferocious and a very big sword in his hand with bent tips both, and Ravan's sword has a lion head at the hold. That was also very interesting. The swords are really wonderful, and there is also a pretty little bit of literature on the sword of Ram, and also on the shield something has been written. So really these things, the props in the hands of Ram and Ravan surprised me. Nothing surprising, because I was expecting Amish to bring a cover page of this particular sort, an unconventional and very interesting one. Sword fight between, one-to-one combat between Ram and Ravan instead of the bow and arrow war, or the army being shown in the backdrop. So we can see the burning Lanka, the fortress, the wall of the fortress in the backdrop, and also the burning Lanka. Beside Ram, we can see a shaded face of a warrior and a couple of warriors, and behind Ravan also you can see a warrior. They seem to be depicting those of Lanka. On the shield of Ram, you can see a tiger, but on the shield of the Lanka soldiers, you can see a lion depicted. So on the sword handle of Sri Ram's sword handle, you can see the emblem of Surya. So these two were the interesting catches, like Ram and Ravan tipped against each other in one-to-one combat with the swords. Ravan showing ferocious signs like being angry, and we are shown a side face, a little bit of Ram's face, Ram bearing a beard and knotted his hairs. And very interesting is the hair bands which he has used, one right on the top and another beaded one, and one beaded armband we can see, and we can also see the armlets. So to both Ram and Ravan, both are wearing the Janivas or Janivaras, that is the sacred thread. Both are having war scars on their shoulders, on their arms, and also on the abdomen, bleeding. Pretty good abs we can see of Ram and Ravan. Superb, fantastic presentation of the cover page, I should tell. And you can also see Ravan having that extra sword. Apart from the sword he is using, he is also having a supplementary one to use it later. And the crown of Ravan. Ram doesn't have a crown because he was in the jungles. His hair has been tied in a knot. As I said already, two hair bands he is wearing, one right at the top and another of the beads just below it. And when you see Ravan is wearing a crown with two horns, and that is really interesting. Some part of jewelry also on the body of Ravan. And the costumes are also interesting, both of Ram and Ravan. And coming a little bit to the bottom, you can see their sandals. They look like fresh Bata or some good company sandals. I don't know where did they get from. This is innovative thinking on the part of Amish Tripathi. You can see new, fresh sandals or the slippers with those straps worn by Ram and Ravan both. That is damn interesting and really catchy. So just go through the cover page in detail, so you'll get a plenty of details about Ram, Ravan, the war, the one-to-one combat, and an unconventional presentation of the cover page of War of Lanka. And I know the story will be definitely interesting. In the pre-orders, I saw that this book runs to 500 pages, and that will be damn big. And I am really curious. I am really anxious. I am really interested to know how knowing Amish's works. I am damn sure the detailing of the war will be simply superb. How the war will go on, definitely it will be a page turner, and we will be immersed in the world of Amish. We will be in the battleground of Lanka, watching the war of Lanka between Ram and Ravan and their armies, and how Ma Sita will be released from the clutches of Ravan by Sri Ram, and how he is going to get her back to Ayodhya. So fingers crossed to read War of Lanka. I am going to pre-order this book for sure. I am keeping my fingers crossed to get this signed copy from Amish Tripathi, and I love his works, and I'll definitely fall in love with War of Lanka. For the cover page of War of Lanka, 10 out of 10 on my scoreboard. Thanks for watching my video. We'll catch up in the next video with the review of yet another book. Until then, do take care. Goodbye. Namaste.